This is Moments with Foo with James Foo Torres, better known as Foo, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet, hear their stories, and get the most important business lessons they have learned on their road to success, and get exclusive advice on how to implement their success into your life and business. Moments with Foo is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Foo.
Hello and welcome with Moments with Foo. I'm your host, James Foo Torres, but you can call me Foo. And today I have one of my favorite video content creators in social media right now, especially on LinkedIn, which he is Alex Sheridan. And he is the founder of Impaxs Marketing. And I'm going to let him tell you more about that. But first, Alex, how are you?
Doing well, my friend. How are you?
Very good. I just got back from a business trip. Very exciting stuff happening. Interview with Forbes, got my clients too. So, I'm kind of getting into the rhythm, back into the rhythm of things today. So this is like my first going back to work thing. So, but I mean, this feels like it's not even that much work because I really enjoy this, and I'm looking forward to hear the advice that you have to say for the audience. But first, let's just start with a quick intro. What you do and why.
So my name's Alex B. Sheridan. I'm the founder of Impaxs Marketing. We basically help companies and clients of ours take their video content and turn it into a 24/7 sales rep for their business.
Awesome. I love it. I love that line every time that I see it, because it's so true right now with content. When you put video content out, it's not like, oh, it went out right now and that's it. It's always there. So people could be at 12 a.m. and checking their LinkedIn, because that's the time that they check their LinkedIn, and you're showing up there. You don't have to be awake, you're sleeping, and that's being a video, being a salesperson for you. And that's why I think it's a very powerful line, and I love it. And that's why I wanted to have you here, because I know you have a lot of advice that you can give to the audience. So, and then, you told us what you do, but then I guess you can imply the why, right? Why would you want to have a salesperson 24/7? But
yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the why, why you started this journey, what got you into this?
Well, there's definitely the business benefits of if you take your video content and position it in strategic ways, so that it acts as a 24/7 sales rep for your company. Obviously, there's a lot of benefits that come in: leads, clients, revenue. But one of the main things that I'm passionate about is helping people sort of unleash their creative. And that's our tagline for our brand. And what that means is that everyone has a story to tell. They have perspectives that are on their mind. They have thoughts, they have opinions, they have things that they want to accomplish. And oftentimes they're held back. The creativity and potential is trapped inside. And they're sort of scared to get that out there, or maybe don't have, they don't know the right strategy to get it out there in front of the people they want to reach. And so that's a big reason as to why we do what we do, is to help people unleash their creative and build their business and get their message out there, get their stories out there, help them showcase who they are and what they're about and what they can do for people. And that's a core foundation of our business and our brand.
I can resonate a lot with that, because in PR, with my PR firm, we specialize on doing something like that, but instead of using video marketing as the vehicle, we use editorial coverage as our vehicle, and how to then repurpose it. And we do use video, but we use it in a different way, that you do like skits and more like information. We leverage the PR content as the creative, and then we position it in social media in multiple different ways, paid or just organic. So I can resonate a lot with that. And I'm very excited to know more about your business. I mean, I comment on your content all the time, ask you questions, because I think video is the number one thing that is moving right now in every social media platform. Doesn't matter, just in general, it's just the thing that is moving the most, especially short video content. So that's something that I'm in my PR firm with all my clients, I'm hammering down on creating short video content. So in leveraging the PR as an authority piece. So this, video and PR is a great combination. So that's why I know there's going to be a lot of value in this. So now my question is, do you have any tips or advice for business owners in general, or for people that would like to do what you do, or maybe just, your younger self that would like to start this? Do you have any tips or advice for that?
One of the biggest lessons that I've learned since starting my own business was the importance of reoccurring revenue and being able to take care of your clients in more than one way. So when I first started my business, I had, I'd offer consulting courses, things of that nature. And that was fine. We did a good job and serviced the clients, but there was so much more meat on the bone. There was so much more opportunity to make an impact in their business and to get them, more results, that I didn't take that into consideration and build that into really my business strategy when I first started. Now it's brand new, so it's not like I didn't have all the answers at that point. But that's one thing that I would, looking back now, if I could go back to 2.5, 3 years ago, I would tell myself, think about reoccurring revenue. It's not about getting a ton of new clients every single week. That's great if you can do that. And I was good at that with my marketing and videos, but I needed better ways to keep clients. Don't just have a few $1,000s per client. Find a way to service them every single month, every year, and turn that one client into a $200,000 client. And if you can get them $1 million, $2 million, $3 million in actual results and revenue, and there's a strong enough ROI, they're going to pay you whatever you need for them to get that. So that's probably the biggest lesson. If I could go back now, I'd say start thinking about building that in there from day one. How can you add, whether it's a subscription service, whether it's something every quarter that you put on for people, whatever the case may be, you have to really start building that into your business. Because if you don't have reoccurring revenue, it's hard to project, it's hard to be consistent, it's hard to really grow the business. You're going to have ups and downs, and that can be dangerous at times if you're not saving and that kind of stuff. So that would be my biggest piece of advice.
Yeah, I can, I completely agree with that, because that's something that I'm going through. It's how to, like, it's not just a project. Okay, let's get you like this couple of pieces and stuff. Let's think about the long term. Let's think about what else. And I'm constantly thinking, what else can I add value to the clients, that it becomes like a no-brainer investment. Like, oh yeah, I'll give you this, and then you always give me more than value, and it's something that we can do every month for as long a year or more.
And the key is you got to be curious and interested in what your clients are going through and what problems they have and what challenges they have, because you may solve one little subset of a problem or one core problem. But if you keep asking and getting curious, like, for example, I may solve video content, that problem. We can create the videos for people. We can edit the videos for them. We can get them the right strategy. But then there's another problem of they don't have time to post it, to schedule it, to, interact with the editors, to get everything lined up, to, just go through the day-to-day stuff. Maybe it's writing the copy or whatever it is. And so then we said, well, we could hire social media managers to help our companies with that, to help our clients with that. And so it's just, you're building more offerings and more solutions based on just listening to the client and understanding what are they struggling with? What's working really well? Let's keep doing more of that. Let's enhance it. But where are they struggling at? Where are they missing the mark? And how can you offer something that would sort of bridge that gap to help them to the next level?
Yeah. What I call is like how to reduce the friction from where starting point to where you want to be, right? Like, so in that journey, like you say, like for the content, like it's not just the creating the content, but now there's like the scheduling and all that stuff that not necessarily what your company does like as their core, but then now you can start adding partners into that.
Right.
It's the same thing that for me, for example, I send a client like an onboarding form for a couple of questions about like their bio and stuff. And then if that's I notice that could be a bottleneck. So now I give them the option, like I'll interview you. I'll record the interview. I'll transcribe it. I'll get it from there. I'll send it to you and make sure that I copy everything. I got the message right, and that eliminates that friction or that bottleneck of getting into the next stage to get closer to the end result. So I really like that, because it's something that I apply, and I definitely advise everybody. So if you can make it eliminates the bottlenecks, and also if you can get the same results faster, right? Or all everything, so you can make the process more efficient. What are those things in the journey that are missing? Keep adding that, and that way you can add more value, have more revenue, recurring, and all that. So thank you for that. It's definitely very valuable. My next question is, do you have a challenge either in the beginning, or it could be as recent as yesterday, that you learned from, and then you think that it will be something valuable to share with the audience?
I'm learning things every single day, as you know, being a business owner. So it's a constant learning process. I mean, one thing that comes to my mind outside of reoccurring revenue, which I would have told myself 2 years ago to do, an example could be not getting on TikTok faster. Like I saw what it was kind of becoming in maybe early 2020, and probably knew that it was going deep down, knew it was going to be bigger and there was going to be opportunities there. And, but just was so focused on LinkedIn and building my business that I didn't really build my content strategy around a solid foundation first, build the video content machine, as we call it, and then be able to distribute that content to LinkedIn, to TikTok, to Instagram, to wherever you want to be. Right. So, I didn't go forward with that opportunity as much as I should have. I'd put out videos here and there, but I really stayed focused for the most part on LinkedIn. And now I got serious about it in 2022, really in the beginning of 2022. And I made a decision. I was like, look, I'm going to start posting at least a video a day. I started posting 2 videos a day for a little while. And I'm going to be very consistent with this. I made the decision. I'm all in. This is my commitment. Now, for me, I got to find a way to build the video content machine with TikTok in mind now, with more vertical videos in mind. And that's why you see me post a lot more videos on LinkedIn that are vertical, and more people are on mobile anyways. So I think LinkedIn's naturally going to go that way. But that's TikTok, that's YouTube Shorts, that's Instagram Reels, that's most video content now for short form is being presented in the mobile vertical format. So I had to make that adjustment. And, since then, like today, I won a 5-figure consulting deal from a TikTok video. Now, the only reason that I won that deal is because my video content is set up as a 24/7 sales rep for my business. So they consume one video, they go to another path, there's more videos. They go to my LinkedIn, there's a profile, there's customer testimonial videos. They go to my website, there's more social proof there's more videos. There's a video of me explaining what we do and how much it costs and why you should work with us if you're the right fit, and why maybe you shouldn't book a call if we don't think you're the right fit, right? So I'm trying to qualify and disqualify. And then at that point, they get on the call. And then what I can do is I can actually have a conversation. I know that the prospect is qualified, and typically it leads to a high percentage chance that we're going to close that deal and they're going to become a customer.
That's so cool. And people say like, oh, TikTok is for dances and stuff. Some people, right? I don't. I know the potential.
Dude, it's just getting started too. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's like, more and more B2B people and more business people are going to start getting on the platform. It's just like when Facebook started off, it was like, oh, it's for college kids, and it was. And then it was for kids, and your parents were like, what the hell is Facebook? Get off Facebook. And now my parents, all they do is jump on Facebook when they have a free moment in their day and they're not doing anything, right? So it just, all platforms evolve over time. And if you got the feeling and just watch what's happening around you with TikTok, it's very clear that it's on the rise. It's the #1 website in the entire world. So it's happening whether people like it or not. The problem is, and I know this from experience, is that once you build on one platform or you build on 2 platforms, and then you have to go somewhere else and start from zero, that's a tough pill for people to swallow. Because like, Alex, I'm making it. I've done really well on LinkedIn. I've established my brand. I've built my brand on Instagram or wherever it is. And now they got to go from somewhere and essentially start from zero. And it's really tough because you got to push your ego aside. You have to be willing to get, have your videos not do well like they are on the other platforms that you've been dominating for years. So you have to push your ego aside and be willing to say, hey, I'm jumping in this. I'm going to make the commitment, and I'm willing to push through the first 20, 30, 50, 100, 200 videos to get to a place where I've now built my presence on that platform too. And again, hopefully your video strategy allows you to create for all of the platforms. So it's not this major shift, but that's why more people don't get on, because they're dominating on 1 or 2 platforms. Then they get on a new platform like a TikTok or a LinkedIn. And then all of a sudden, like, it hurts your ego when you post and it doesn't perform well. And you're used to performing well on the other platforms. And so you say, screw this, man. I don't even like this platform. Like, I don't believe it. I'm not going to do it. And that really is just your ego and your mind saying, this sucks and I'm not performing higher when I do on these other platforms. But I just swallowed that shit. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going for it. Like, I'm committed. I don't care if my first 100 videos bomb, and many of them did. I was like, I'm going to learn. I'm going to understand the platform, the people there, the algorithm, how it works. And now I'm winning 5-figure deals off TikTok. So it's like, you have to be willing to commit and go all in, whether it's LinkedIn or TikTok or wherever it is. And you got to be willing to push your ego aside to try something new that you're not going to be amazing at right away.
And I completely agree with that. But I want to like ask a question about that too. Do you get very do you develop specific strategies for TikTok different than LinkedIn? Let's just kind of focus on those 2 for now. Do you come in like with a different? I know that there's some videos that you can repurpose because it fits both audiences, but do you still do like certain things differently in one platform and the other?
Yes, of course. So like, TikTok, for example, I'm doing videos on there that I wouldn't post on LinkedIn. I probably could, but I answer questions from people on TikTok. That's a great TikTok strategy. If like, I don't know what to post on TikTok, I don't want to do dances or lip syncing. I don't either. And I still find success on TikTok. So you don't have to do that stuff, but you got to think about the contextual nature of the platform. So ideally you're building a content strategy or the video machine, the video content machine, where you can plug in play video content on any platform, right? But even on a specific platform, there's nuances. So LinkedIn, for example, you would do text posts. You would mix in some text posts. Maybe you'd mix in some picture posts, right? You got to know that copy matters on LinkedIn. It really does. Even when you're posting a video, typically you'll have good copy above it, and that should help the performance of the video. On TikTok, copy really doesn't matter because most people aren't even looking at it. It's typically one sentence and a couple hashtags. But what you got to know on TikTok is that you can go in there and answer questions. Like I'll do a video on TikTok where I'm answering someone's question that they left in my comments. I'll look at the comment. They'll say, what's the big difference between videos on TikTok versus videos on LinkedIn? And I'll be like, great question. Let me answer this as a piece of content. And I'll pull up my phone and I'll answer the question. And that becomes a video. And so there's certain unique things that you would do on TikTok that you maybe wouldn't do the exact same on LinkedIn. But I do think there's a lot of crossovers. If you have a good strategy and you understand both platforms well, there is a ton of crossover. I mean, I would say 70% of my content is almost the same content on both TikTok and LinkedIn, minus the copy adjustments and hashtag adjustments, and just knowing like the nuances of the platform. 70% of it is very, very close.
Nice. And one thing, because I'm very invested in this, because I'm going hard on content, so that's why like I'm using this platform to learn too, and so everybody that listens to this can learn from it too. If you let's say out of the 70% that you repurpose, as a tip, would you recommend to at the same time release it in both platforms, or just let it one platform and then maybe the next day or something? What do you think? Or is it depend if it's timely? Like, what do you think?
It doesn't really matter, honestly. I mean, ideally, in a perfect scenario, you could release something all 1 week, and then the other platform is something different, and then you mix and match the next week. But oftentimes, I'll release the same video on TikTok that I do on LinkedIn because it's a little bit of a different audience there too, right? So it's like you're not reaching the exact same people. And so, I think best case scenario is you got every day you're releasing something that's different on each platform. That's best case scenario. But that requires a lot of work to be able to do that. I just think, look, are you mixing it up? I think if you're posting the exact same content, exact same copy, videos, everything on all the platforms, I do think that's a miss. Like there are certain things that you need to adjust a platform for. And even TikTok, though, TikTok in general has just taught me more about video. I mean, it's taught me more about vertical video. It's taught me more about how to, grab attention in the first 1 second of a video, not 2 or 3 seconds. So, I mean, it's definitely made me a better video creator. So I'm very grateful for that. And then what I do is I take that and I also bring that to LinkedIn because it's going to work there too. I could bring that to Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or wherever I'm going, because a lot of those strategies do cross over.
I love that. And thanks for giving me that, because I'm really, really being very intentional about it. And I'm creating content and using the podcast is a way to do it, but I'm also doing like hook, this is my name, then the value type stuff, right? And those are things that I've learned from TikTok, that I also learned from people like you and people all over, like just consuming that type of content.
I'll tell you this, since we're on that subject, the way I repurpose my videos is different than any other creator does it that I've seen. Because what I do is that when I take my podcast or my live session and I'm going to repurpose it, what most people do is they'll put out like a square box, or they'll show two people talking at the same time. And the biggest mistakes that people make is they start mid-conversation. So we don't know what the heck, the conversation's even about because we weren't there, right? Or there's no hook in the first second or two. And so they're just missing the mark in general. But what I do is I repurpose so it looks like I'm creating a video almost for LinkedIn, for TikTok, for the feed. It looks like that because I'm recording this just like I'm doing right now. I'm recording it on my phone as well as my webcam, so I can get vertical shots. I got a good mic, my Yeti mic. It's nothing expensive, but it does the job. I've got that lined up, and I'm able to look in the webcam and my phone camera, so it looks like I'm looking the person watching this video right now in the eyes, right? And so that's the trick to how do you repurpose. And I can repurpose successfully for TikTok, for LinkedIn, for Instagram Reels, for YouTube Shorts, all the hottest platforms right now. And most of the time when I tell people, oh, that's a repurposed video for my podcast or my live, they're like, oh, I didn't even know those were repurposed videos, because they actually look like I created them for the feed. So will I do this a year or two from now? I don't know. Things could change and there could be a new strategy that's even better by then. But I know right now that this is working very well on the different platforms for this repurposing strategy.
That's that we talked a little bit about that prior to this recording, and you know, thanks for bringing it up. So now we can give it to everyone, and that's something that I'm definitely doing. Like I already told you, like I got a couple of things. I ask you all the questions because it's something that I want to level up my content. So one of the reasons that I have you here, so I can learn, and definitely that I have some takeaways for this. So on that note, is there any, like, based on the conversation or something that maybe you haven't said, what do you think are the biggest takeaways for either this conversation or your expertise that you would like to leave the audience with?
I'd say that, 99% of people aren't even creating video content in the first place. So that's a pretty good place to start. Most companies have almost zero strategy for social media besides posting their company blog or their company brag post or an occasional promotional graphic, and so people got to understand that, look, video consumption has doubled in the last 4 years. It's gone from, in 2018, people consumed around 10 hours a week of online videos. And now in 2022, it's almost 20 hours a week. So more and more platforms are emerging, like the TikTok. More people are searching for videos to explain things or learn things from or listen to. And so you have to understand that that's just the way the world is going. So if you're not going to jump on and take advantage of being in front of your customers and potential customers all the time, it's a big miss. And I know people will say, like, well, I'm scared to get on camera. I've got this fear. I understand that, but that is a deep down insecurity that person needs to really think through and work through. I mean, honestly, if you're scared to put yourself out there, it's probably because you're worried about what other people would think. It's probably because you're getting your validation from other people instead of worrying about the values that you have internally as a person. That's where your confidence and self-esteem and self-love should come from. It should come from your values. And then, do you live them every day? What are your values? How do they show up? Why are they your values? And when you're really living that, that's where self-esteem and confidence comes from. And then you don't need validation from everyone else coming in. I don't need validation from people to say my content's good, or I'm a good dad, or I'm a good business person. I don't need that, because I can look at my values. I know why they're my values. I know how they show up every single day. And I know that I'm living them, doing the best that I can in terms of living those values. So I just went on a whole tangent there, but that's a big one for people that are like, I'm scared to get on video. I'm worried to put myself out there. You need to look deep inside and figure out why that is, because that's going to hold you back from a lot of other things, not just video content. But once you get past that, then you got to develop a strategy to put out content consistently wherever your customers are. LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, wherever they are, you need to show up there consistently on video. If you want to grow your business, if you want to build your brand, if you want to get your dream clients to come to you, that's a pretty damn good strategy.
I completely agree. And I would add that for me by my personal experience, it has allowed me to, the practice of doing these videos, the practice of doing the podcast, it has made me a better communicator. I'm way more efficient. I have less words of like, and I still, struggle like I just did right now. But I'm getting a lot better. If you see my first podcast episode to now, or my first couple of videos that I did to now. So it's not just about like the video itself, is how you can grow your your communication skills, and how to, act on the spot. There's no redo, or sometimes if you're doing something live. So when you do these videos, it's maybe a safer place, when you're recording yourself. So it's something that I want to add.
So that's a great point. So this is the one thing that most people, like, I would say, how am I going to phrase this? This is the one thing that most people don't know about video content. When you put out video content consistently, you train yourself and you get a ton of practice telling your story, communicating your unique value prop, understanding, taking questions from your customers and answering them back in the form of videos. So all of this practice, I mean, think about me versus somebody that in the same exact role or same exact company, similar products and services. If you take us and put us together, after 2 years of creating video content, if I'm creating video content every day or every week or whatever it is, and they're creating almost no video content, I am a much better communicator and I can tell my story so much better, and I can communicate to my clients so much better. I've gotten so much repetitions at this point that I'm going to smoke them. If we get in a meeting, in most cases, I'm just going to be able to talk about it so much better. I've just got the practice. I've just got the at-bats, and they're going to be, 2 years behind me by the time they even get started. So yeah, that's a great point. I mean, you become a better communicator by telling your story, by communicating more often. It's just like anything. So getting on video is not just an external thing where you can win clients and get attention and build your brand. It's also a big time internal growth opportunity, because you have to maybe overcome some fears. You can demonstrate, again, tell your story, describe your unique value prop, come up with creative ways to help people understand a complex situation or a scenario or a problem. They may be very overwhelmed by a certain challenge or a problem, and your ability to break that problem down into something very simple and easy to digest or consume, well, that's the art of talking about it all the time. And you get better at that, and that helps when you're on video talking about those same challenges and problems all the time. It's a great point.
Definitely. It helps you say more with less words. And that's always going to be incredibly valuable as you learn how to simplify things, how to say it easier, so it's easier to understand.
An example is like when you asked me, what is your name and what do you do? I didn't go into like some long thing of like, we do video marketing and we specialize in this and we've been around for this long and I didn't do any of that stuff. I said one line that sums up what I do. I was like, we help companies take their video content and turn it into a 24/7 sales rep for them and their business. Now, I don't need to go any more deep than that, because if I do, I'm probably going to lose people. They've never met me. They don't know my industry. They don't know it like I do, right? But the way I just told that story and communicated that, you can go, wow, so I can take videos and it can just act like a sales rep for me while I'm sleeping, playing with my kids, while I'm doing different things. Yeah, exactly. So your ability to, yes, refine your message and get more clear about what you do. And we all know in marketing, if you confuse people, you lose people. So your ability to keep things simple and easy to digest is actually the difference sometimes in people going with you versus somebody else that made it very complicated. And they're like, I don't understand how they're going to get it results, or I don't understand what they're really going to do with us. Alex, he was simple. He's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5-step process, turn your video into a sales rep. Boom. Right. And then I show social proof. I show testimonials like I posted today. Right. And so all of that builds up. The other person's over here, they've got none of that. They haven't been on video and they can't clearly articulate their value prop or their ROI, and they're not going to win the customer.
Yeah. It's very simple. That's why a lot of people don't get it, because they haven't been explained these things out like we just did. And that's why I believe that this podcast for me is so powerful, because it's just but I know that's gonna be people that are gonna listen to this and gonna be like, huh, it makes sense. I never thought about it like that. I just thought that I just not good in camera. I was like, well, maybe you're not, but after you put the reps and just be afraid to fail. Like even if you don't like it, just kind of like get the reps in and do it. And that's it. Like I kind of sucked, and sometimes I cringe still about things, but I keep doing it because I've noticed already. But that now this is my 14 or 15 episode that I'm recording. From the first one to this one, the growth has been like insane. So I can only imagine how good I'm gonna be in my 100th episode. So that's why I'm keep putting this, and I want more content, better content. How can I do it? How can I say more with less? This is something that I think about and work towards every single day. Like I have my leisure time or whatever, but I still have it in my shower thoughts and everything. It's like, how can I say more with less? How can I have people that not confused? How can I put more output? And because I'm trying to educate people and also look for people that I can help them amplify their impact with what I do with public relations, and specifically like the media relations side of getting editorial coverage. So this is really, really valuable. I know there's gonna be multiple people that's gonna be like, I want to know more about him. So what are like those keywords or easiest links for people to find you?
So you can find me on LinkedIn, on TikTok. Those are the 2 platforms that I'm most heavy on. Alex B. Sheridan. If you type that in, I'll surely pull up. But we also have a podcast called Brand in Demand. And it's a really great podcast. We do a live event once a week. You're free to join it. Just hit me up, send me a message if you want to be a part of it. And we talk about different topics such as how to build a video content machine. This coming week, or actually tomorrow now, Tuesday, we're talking about how to turn your video content into a 24/7 sales rep for your business. So it's all video content, building a brand, creating demand for you and your business in the marketplace. It's all focused around that, but it's incredibly impactful. So check that out too.
Perfect. And if it's as good as all the information that you share here, probably more, right? Because it's your platform, then you definitely should check it out, because I want to check it out. Like I've checked out some, because I've been following your content for like over a year now. Like I'm super educational, entertaining. I love how you go the extra mile with the Trump. Like you do like little stories and characters, and I don't know, that makes it super engaging. So that's why I was so excited, because I've basically been a fan of yours for over a year now, and having you in my podcast is a great, like, damn, like, look, now we're like, I've seen you grow a lot. You've grown a lot, and I've seen you from like kind of starting out, and then like now to figure out your message, and your quality of content is even higher and faster and more like, and it's very impressive. And you're definitely doing some good stuff. I'm definitely gonna talk to you more about it, because I think PR and video are a perfect combination. So yeah, after this, we'll talk a little bit about that, see what else, if we can help each other, amplify our impact. So very, very excited about that. But
sounds good, brother.
Thanks for joining my show. This was value packed. I know I'm gonna get some good content. I know you're gonna get some good content. You're already recording on your side. So I'm glad that we did this today, and hopefully I'm thinking in a year, we'd love to kind of have you back and be like, damn, this is what we did all this year. Like that's kind of how I'm seeing things going with my podcast. I want to bring people back and see what has happened. So looking forward to that. So, thank you for being here, taking your time. And I'm excited to like push this out to the world.
My pleasure. I appreciate you having me on, James. Thanks.
Thank you. So this is Alex and Fu signing off.
Thanks for listening to Moments with Fu with your host, Fu. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we will see you on the next episode.